Picard almost let a planet be destroyed to preserve Star Trek, TNG's Prime Directive. Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, always strives to uphold the Prime Directive on Star Trek, The Next Generation, and he once almost destroyed a planet to avoid violating Starfleet's most important rule. The Prime Directive has been around since Star Trek, the original series, and states that Starfleet officers must not interfere with developing pre-war cultures. While this rule has been interpreted in many different ways throughout Star Trek's history, it remains an important rule that every Starfleet captain must do their best to adhere to. Although the Prime Directive sounds good in principle, it often raises complicated questions. In Star Trek, The Next Generation Season 2, Episode 15, Pen Pals, Lieutenant Commander Data, Brent Spiner, violates the United Federation of Planets Prime Directive by communicating with a young alien girl named Sarjenka, Nikki Cox. When Data realizes that volcanic activity will soon render Sarjenka's planet, Dreamer IV, uninhabitable, he tells Captain Picard about the situation. Picard questions Data's decision to contact Sarjenka, and then calls his senior officers together to review their options. While some of the crew members argue that they must do everything they can to save the planet and its people, Picard points out that the Prime Directive would suggest they let nature take its course. In a captivating Star Trek, The Next Generation discussion in Picard's quarters regarding Sarjenka's situation, Lieutenant Geordie LaForge, LeVar Burton, and Dr. Catherine Pulaski, Diana Muldaur, argue that they cannot allow the people on her planet to die. Lieutenant Worf, Michael Dorn, stands firmly on the side of non-interference, and Commander William Riker, Jonathan Frakes, points out that it would be the height of hubris to interfere with a potential cosmic plan. Because of his friendship with Sarjenka, Data may have a personal stake in the matter, but he rightly points out that the Dremons are not a subject for philosophical debate. They are a people. The conversation goes in circles, but in the end, and despite the fact that it will mean the death of millions of people, Captain Picard orders Data to stop communicating with Sarjenka and her planet. However, just as Data is about to sever the connection, Sarjenka's young voice comes through the speaker. Picard cannot ignore the little girl's cry for help, and he reverses his decision, saying, "Oh, Data, your whisper from the dark has now become a plea. We cannot turn our backs." While TNG's understanding of the Prime Directive has improved since Season 1, saving Dreamer IV should have been the obvious course of action from the beginning.